My name is Jonathan Mita. I'm a senior at Temple University Japan campus, and I study psychology. I am from the United States of America, specifically in Los Angeles. The reason why I chose TUJ was because of the exceptional student to faculty ratio. As opposed to some of the neighboring institutions around TUJ, TUJ was one of the only that offered a psychology program, which was what I was extremely interested in prior to enrolling in TUJ. In addition to that, TUJ offers a lot of academic-based scholarships on merit, and it gives students a lot of opportunities who strive for essentially perfection to be awarded based off of financial need. The thing I like most about TUJ, as I touched base on earlier, was the exceptional student to faculty ratio. A lot of the classes, especially with the psychology major department, the class sizes are extremely small, and the class sizes usually range from 2 students up to 20, but the majority of the classes are small. And because of that, you're able, as a student in those classes, to develop more interpersonal relationships with not just the professor, not just the instructor, but the peers around you. Because you're able to develop such a relationship with the faculty, not just within psychology, but outside of psychology in almost every single academic discipline within TUJ that is offered. Once you're able to step that boundary and really talk to your professor and get to know them, they're more than likely to lend you an ear and allow you to possibly engage in research with them or instigate potential internship opportunities that lead you as the individual to expand your academic experience at TUJ. My first research project at Temple was conducted and is ongoing still to this day from 2015, and that was with Dr. Yamamiya. And essentially what our research project entails was that we were trying to identify the relationship between SNS, or social networking systems, and the individual body schema, and how SNS could possibly affect upward social comparison levels, how you compare yourself to your peers, and how you develop social anxiety based off of your SNS usage. And the second big research project that I was a part of and is also still ongoing is essentially digressing from psychology and more into philosophy. And this research project is trying to identify a new way to define education within the modern day paradigm or ideological system, and how education can be consistently redefined by educators around the world. And the third project, not necessarily an academic-based project, was with Professor Nagai, the Director of Research here at TUJ, and she had pioneered something called the Brown Bag Lecture Series, which is a lecture series where students and faculty are able to showcase some of their innovative research ideas. And I was granted the honor to give the first lecture series, and that was on how to create a human subject study design based off of the IRB, the Temple Institute Review Board. I chose psychological studies because at my previous institution I was studying toxicology, a more hard science. And after leaving that institution, I wanted to stay in tune with the hard science background, but also explore some of the behavioral possibilities, and that lies within psychology and how we can marry some of the hard science factors such as neuroscience, as well as more of the softer science applications like behavior. And for me, psychology was a perfect marry between those two concepts, and that's essentially the biggest reason why I chose psychology. TUJ has prepared me extremely well for my postgraduate endeavors, and because I engaged in so many research-based projects with not just faculty members and not just professors, but also some of my peers, I was able to shape a different vantage point in how I saw research and specific assignments. And because of that, I think I'm definitely prepared for graduate programs, whether they're based in Japan or the US. Education is what the individual takes out of it, and because we're blessed with such amenities as the internet and Google Scholar and various academic-based sites where we can access lecture series from almost anywhere from the world, from any institution, we can learn a lot from ourselves. Yet, personally, having received such an intimate-based academic experience with my professors and peers, I was able to shape my own academic experience here at TUJ by utilizing such amenities and by having such a personalized educational experience that leads you to become a global thinker and a global scholar and think from a different vantage point. One thing I would like to pass on to incoming students to TUJ is that TUJ is not the same as any other institution in the world, and because approximately 60 countries are represented, we're exposed to a lot of subtle cultural nuances inside and outside of the classroom. And because of that, learning someone else's culture is able to shape your experience not only in an academic way, but in a social way, and how to deal with situations where a friend is of a different culture and be more susceptible to those subtle cultural nuances that you may encounter after you graduate TUJ. So my advice would be to not be afraid of some of the enriching experiences that you can have from your peers from different backgrounds and different cultures, and to embrace them, whether in an academic and a social way.